do a front diff service with a Eton E-Locker. Never done an E-Locker diff service before. I got no idea how the harness interacts internally with everything, but we're gonna find out. And of course, I've got a shallow 13, so I'm gonna go get my deep 13. 10mm mean goes for 13 in my reality. Let's get this connector. Start getting these busted loose. There it is. Oh yeah. Alright, let's see how this harness is in here. I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it, but the people that installed this locker put the harness through the diff cover, and you got nothing. Does not want to pull out. Sucks. Like real bad. Couldn't get the connector depinned, so I'm just gonna work around it for now. I got this cool little brush on the drill.
Luckily, the diff cover itself doesn't have anything left over on it. So all I do is go around and clean it up just a little bit. Dry it real good. The Scotch Brite works good. Get any leftovers stuck on residue cleaned up. Nice clean, it's nice and dry. And go from there. Thank you so much.
Since I can't go anywhere, might as well tell you guys the story of how this Jeep came to be. So, buddy at work had a bone stock Cherokee that he was holding. He didn't want to sell it. Tried to talk him into it a couple times, kept saying no. Something finally clicked and he was ready to sell it. And it was sitting for a long time. He blew the head gasket on it. So I got it for a killer deal. Picked up the rig for $1,000 and immediately started working on it. First thing I did was, well, let me start over. He parked it because the heater core was leaking. Heater core started leaking into the cab. So he said he didn't need it. It was just a toy vehicle on the side. So he parked it. And he finally decided to sell it. I bought it. Got it home. Did the heater core. And the evaporator, since I was in there. Put some new hoses on it. Did a radiator, because the radiator was leaking as well. Got all back together, real excited, got it back on the road, driving it around, and it had a misfire. Could not figure out why it had a misfire. Checked all the ignition system, everything seemed fine. Nothing, nothing bad with the distributor, nothing bad with the plug wires, the plugs, everything was good. Kept having this misfire. It kept getting progressively worse the more I put miles on it trying to figure it out. So I finally did a compression check on it. Cylinder 1 was damn near dead, sitting at like 60 psi, where it should have been up in the 150s along with the rest of them. So the head gasket was actually blown, and the head was bad. The head had the valve seat was just completely destroyed. Almost nothing left. So it was losing all the compression out of that cylinder 1 intake valve. So I got a reman head from Napa, threw it all together, ran great, still runs great. Bottom end's got almost 300,000 on it. Top end's brand new reman. So I was driving around like that for a while. Wasn't planning on lifting it. Honestly, I was just gonna do skid plates and lunchbox lockers front and back, because I took it out a couple times with just 30-inch tires, and it really impressed me. I was able to have a real good time and go some places. So I was just gonna do that. Rock and roll with the bone stock height, protected, underbody protected, maybe put a bumper on it, and see where it would take me. So I was on OfferUp one night, and I found a rolled Jeep the guy was getting rid of for $3,000. And the more I started looking at it, the more I found out that it was a really killer deal. It was lifted 4.5 inches, re-geared and locked. These diffs got 456s in them, sitting on 33s, Pro Pump wheels, front and rear bumpers, tire carrier bumper for the back, and I told the wife, we gotta do it. I gotta get this rig. This thing's got, you know, $5,500+ in parts alone, and I could probably get it for less than $3,000 if I just go with cash, start wheeling dealing. So I did, and I got it. I got it for $2,000, towed it home, chopped the front windshield off completely so I could drive it, because he rolled it pretty good. It was a slow motion roll on the passenger side, and it completely caved in the A-pillars on both sides. The passenger side was a lot worse. So to drive it around and make sure everything worked properly before I started swapping parts, I just chopped the A-pillars and chopped it right across the roof line so I could test it, get it running up and down the street, make sure the lockers work. It's really cool. It got an E-Locker in the front, Eton E-Locker, and an aux cable locker in the back. The cable locker is just sweet. It does the job so well. I rarely turn the front locker on. It's most of the time just rear locker, point and shoot. And she just crawls right up everything. Went out to King of the Hammers. And my harmonic balancer decided to yeet itself from existence, unfortunately. So that kind of cut that day short. We got caught up towing that back. Another rig that was out there with us, his hub on his Data 44 decided to start coming apart. So while we were nursing that back to camp, my Jeep decided to break. So I got that all swapped out now. We're good there. Turns out Jeep harmonic balancers aren't supposed to wiggle at all. And I noticed mine was wiggling a little while back, never thought much of it until it went off completely. So got that fixed. Drove back forth to work, made sure I didn't blow the head gasket because I overheated the shit out of it. Got all put back together, chopped up the coolant, burped it, all that good stuff. 200-mile trip, back and forth to work, no problem. Now it's rolling warm. So I didn't blow the head gasket, that's good. Now the fun part. I gotta figure out how to get RTV around this thing while juggling the goddamn harness. Especially made for differentials. So fancy. That. Like so. Something lined up and a good push. Don't hot rod them down. Cross pattern. Once you got them all laying down, now it's time to get this mess all cleaned up. Because I do believe we're done here for today.